Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special episode featuring Andy and Corianne from Pardon My Fork. We talk about white truffles coming up on Valentine's Day and all the goodness. Here they are. Thank you guys so much.
So really quickly, there's so many thoughts in my brain going in and about. We visited you guys. When I say we, my wife and I, you can see my wife actually right there, just chilling in the back. She's like, was it about 2 years ago now, right? 2019 was it?
Wow, yeah, that was
Right.
2019.
Was that pre-goat?
That
That was pre-goat.
was pre-goats.
Wow.
That was
Wow, that's-
pre-goats.
Defining moment in my life.
It was on our road trip when we were going across country, and we finally landed in Portland, Oregon, and I knew you guys were there, so we made a quick visit, and we had the most bomb ass tacos that I've had in a while. We actually because we passed so many taco spots and so many other things. The only other thing that would rival pretty much what you guys served was we had this breakfast joint in Texas when we were in Austin for about 3 days, and those tacos were insane. Like, just talk about just pure flavor and just pure Austin and the whole barbecue thing. It was phenomenal. Now you guys served like a home cooked meal version, so fresh, and it was just it was a good experience altogether. So it was good eats and amazing. But how are you guys doing? It's been a while.
Well, it's been a day. I am the goat whisperer. This was a goat. It's been a goat themed year. So I got 2 more goats. So now I'm topping out at 5 total.
Wow.
Both of the goats she got today are pregnant, by the way.
Yes. So this is how I buy them.
5
I buy
goats.
them impregnated and
Mhm.
ready, like locked and loaded for babies. So I just said that. March.
You did. It's
In-
okay.
In March, we bought 2 goats from this gal, Christina Poteet, and they own J&C Barbecue here in town. They
Mhm.
are our local barbecue competitive royalty
Mhm.
here. They are some celebrities in our community. They do real well. Their food's phenomenal.
Yeah, easily the second best barbecue I've ever had.
Besides,
Oh wow.
I personally,
Wow.
I'm a little
You're a little biased. I get it.
little bit. So she also raises goats as her hobby. She used to be an EMT paramedic, and that was her
You know,
therapy.
I don't mean to interrupt, but just real quick, when you have someone that owns a barbecue restaurant over at your house and you're feeding them barbecue and they bite into something you've cooked and they go, and then they stop and they go, that, that's always like, you should take that as a point of pride. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
So, okay, that I got 2 stories. Side note. So Christina, not only is she my goat mentor, but she has done a lot of cast iron cooking and Dutch oven cooking. So she came over and taught us how to do a whole lemon pepper chicken in our cast iron Dutch oven.
Ooh.
We were gifted a size 14 Dutch oven, which
Nice.
is huge.
Mm-hmm.
My older brother, we had a Dutch oven whose is bigger moment, and his is always bigger because so she came over and taught us like how to calculate the number of coals above and below your Dutch oven per how many pounds of meat. So we raised meat birds again this year, and we butchered them again this year. And so we did 26, and they averaged between 8 to 10 pounds a piece. They were about 10 weeks old. Well fed on apples and chicken scraps and organic and free range and spoiled. And yes.
Of
And
course.
so she said, okay, this is how you layer your vegetables on the bottom to protect the bird from burning and also to allow good circulation of heat and all those juices to run down in with your celery, onions, carrots, garlic to make a fabulous just like au jus with that. And then we had a big fire going in the cowboy grill, and then we put coals on top of our Dutch oven and made this succulent, phenomenal chicken. And we just went outside, and then she bites into the chicken, and it was a moment because it was all my recipe. It was all the herbs and vegetables were from my garden. This was my chicken that I raised. So it was just a really good moment. I really loved that farm to table. Can I get 80, 90, 100% of my meal from my yard? So it's really awesome to have her just love our luscious food.
But KC, going back to the goats,
Mhm.
so Corianne's goal this coming year is to get a gallon of milk
Per goat.
a day, right?
Yeah, per goat. So right now I'm milking.
Ooh, that is so good.
Yeah. So I have Nigerian dwarfs. So they are
Ooh.
50 to 70 pounds. They cannot hop a
Mhm.
4-foot fence. It's a really good starter goat. And we've got 3/4 of an acre. So they have 5,000 square feet to
Roam around.
cause some trouble. And so they delivered in April. And we had 3 babies. I kept
Mhm.
1 doeling, and my 2 bucklings I weathered, which is a little snip snip. And
Mhm.
they went to a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So they're off being spoiled weed eaters. And so I've just been milking two goats twice a day since May, the end of May.
Well, but the
Mhm.
cheese has been a really interesting experience for
We've
us.
been learning to make chevre, ricotta,
Mozzarella.
mozzarella. Oh, the mozzarella is
From goat.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Ooh.
So we make fresh goat's milk
Mm-hmm.
mozzarella, and we've used it in so many recipes. And I drink raw goat's milk
Mhm.
every day. I put raw
Of
goat's
course.
milk in my coffee. It's a
Mhm.
good bedtime drink to help calm you down.
Mhm.
I don't do anything with my milk. I filter it and then go straight in the fridge or the
Mhm.
freezer, and it's
Nice.
fabulous. So right now I'm getting about a quart a day, and my goal is to get a gallon a day. We have a cream separator that
Mhm.
that I want to run a gallon of milk through at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
So
So just
you up
from the
on
goat's perspective, how many goats are you? Well, actually, if you're getting a quart a day, yeah, you can pump out about 3 gallons once you got them all going and producing some milk,
Yeah,
which is
so
insane.
goat's milk is naturally homogenized, whereas
Mhm.
cow's milk, the cream will rise to the top. Goat's milk doesn't do that. So you got to warm it up to about at least 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you can run it through a cream separator, and then you'll get
Mhm.
your cream and your milk.
I thought you were
And
supposed to cool it down first. Or do I have that backwards?
you have that backwards.
Mm.
Because when a solution with dissolved fats in it is warm, then the fats most easily separate from the proteins and water and
Mhm.
sugar. So then it's easier for the fat to rise and be basically titrated off.
Mhm.
So then I can make cultured sour cream.
Mhm.
I can make ice cream.
By the way, are we answering any of your questions right now?
Yeah, it's so I'll finally get to the question part. I just wanted to make sure I got the goat part out first because there's so many questions
Oh,
about what you guys do. It's
I
gonna
could
be
go
amazing.
on. I could
I
go
know
on.
you can, which is
If
great.
you want recipes of how to use fresh goat mozzarella. Should we talk about the Trinity burger?
Oh, I have 2 goat shanks that I smoked yesterday in the fridge.
Oh, time out.
Ooh.
Not our goats.
Not your goats.
Not our goats. So we have a
Okay.
relationship with a meat goat farmer called Sublime Organics, and they
Sublime Organics.
pasture raised, free range, loved on goats.
Nigerian dwarf goats can be dual purpose goat. They are dual purpose
We're
goats.
not having that
in
conversation right now.
many
No,
areas of the world.
Shh, hush. No, we're not doing that.
She's like, no, not today.
No. Those are boar goats that we bought. So your hanging weight and your percentage of meat is much higher. And I don't know the goat. I didn't pet the goat. It's just delicious.
Yeah, but these will fit in my smoker.
Yes. Andrew.
All right, so really quickly, before we do get further into our topics, this is Andy and Cory and Emma from Pardon Your. I forgot to do you guys' intro all together in the beginning, but these are really cool buddies of ours, all the way out in the West Coast, and so that's why I kind of want to limit the amount of talk we do because we will just get chefy really quick, really fast.
Yes.
And it already got there. So it's okay. So technically, you guys are the first guests that I've had in quite a bit actually for 2021. So congrats on that. However, so when I reached out to Andy, I was like, Andy, I think we should do a collab real quick and let's talk about. I told him Valentine's Day because I follow the format of restaurant formats, right?
Oh,
Right now. Yeah. Right now it's like mid-January. We're thinking about is Valentine's Day. That's
right.
the main goal to get
As
to
you
it.
should.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's I kind of preach this thing into our podcast all the time. It's like, what's the next event that as restaurateurs we're looking for in event wise, so we can push sales, etc. Now, granted, we are post-COVID, pre-COVID, it's still going on. It'll be a little difficult, but what can we do about it? And Andy goes, White Truffles. And I'm like, perfect. You guys are Oregon natives. You guys got some amazing white Oregon truffles going on right now in the wintertime. Tell me a little more about that, because I don't think people understand that we actually get some good harvested truffles here in the States.
Yeah, so everybody's familiar with the black truffle. You've seen truffles that come out of Italy, truffles that come out of oak groves.
And by the way, not everybody's a fan of black truffle because it's a very strong flavor.
It's so strong.
Love it or hate it. It's a flavor that'll grab you by the throat and shake you around. So you got to love it. But if you are kind of on the fence with it, I would encourage people to try white truffles. They, as far as we know, only grow in Oregon. The Oregon White Truffle Company is just 45 minutes from here, and they harvest white truffles. We had native oaks, white oaks, growing all over Oregon, and white fir, and those forests, a combination of deciduous and evergreen, produced this really amazing truffle. It's more mild. It's whitish in color.
It has a very delicate flavor.
It's delicate.
It's more of a, if someone doesn't like black truffle, they can try white truffle, because white truffle is very, it almost even has a little bit of like a, well, it's very earthy, but floral, exactly.
Completely
and maybe
floral.
A little bit of lactic, it's one of those things where if you don't like buttonhead mushrooms or creminis, you can try oyster mushrooms or chicken of the forest or chicken of the wood.
Yeah. Chicken of the woods.
So, it's kind of that. It might even be sort of I'd like to call it the gateway to black truffle.
It's the gateway drug to truffles.
It's super rare to find and very expensive and degrades very, very quickly. Fun fact for anybody out there, if they're buying white truffle oil, that is most likely not white truffle in it, because the flavor is so delicate that they will erode very quickly.
So Oregon White Truffle oil, that's we're actually going to have them on our show on Wednesday to just talk about it.
As this is recorded, like you said, you're really in the future, but yeah, as we're recording this week, we're having Oregon White Truffle company.
Wow, look at you guys.
We have our Truffle Festival in Oregon this year because of COVID. So we'll see how that goes. Normally in the first quarter, we do the Truffle Festival down around Eugene into Ashland. And it's a big week-long festival. It's just celebrating the Oregon truffles. So what I would like to do with
other mushrooms, come on.
Well, we did just legalize psychedelic mushrooms in Oregon. Look at us leading the way. So all mushrooms are free and welcome here. But like I like an Alfredo with truffles. I with the goat's milk, because it's all thick and rich, 10% butterfat. Then white truffle Alfredo would be phenomenal, which is what I'd like to do with it.
Absolutely,
phenomenal.
You could also do a charcuterie board with white truffle. I think white truffle is kind of romantic. Speaking of Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day is a big deal for us because we got engaged on Valentine's Day. Our first date.
Oh wow!
Valentine's Day.
So you guys are all Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we're that couple. We're those people.
we're those couple.
Yeah.
I got to pause this for a second. Casey, why is white truffle romantic, or any truffle?
I think it's just you're thinking it's in the same likeness as caviar, right? It's this luscious kind of, not forbidden, but it's like a delicacy kind of thing, right? So typically for Valentine's Day, we would do in restaurants. I hate saying fine dining, but it's a little bit more fine dining. You would settle in for a little amuse-bouche, little tiny cups, or little bite-sized things to set your mood before your main meal. And typically something like a caviar or a white truffle kind of, we'll get into the white truffle because I have a lot of like kind of not complacencies about it, but a lot of thoughts concerning on truffles. But you want to make sure that first hit it will set the tone for everything else. Now, I was working at a fish restaurant. We would actually use caviar more so than we would white truffle, because right now, actually, I just looked it up. The price of white truffle, at least here, the Italian white truffle, You can get them either 4 ounce, 3 ounce, or even by the ounce actually. But typically 6 to 8 ounces is what we go for. It's right around $300 or $400 right now for Italian white truffles. Stupid
Ooh.
expensive. And you're using we're talking just like little shavings of these suckers on top of a garnish. Black truffles, however, more expensive because one, more pungent, two, more rare. Also black or rather Italian truffles, those are costing just about $200 more than the white ones per the same ounce per pound. So if you're thinking of truffles, maybe just a little, not really, because they will hurt the bank. They will
Mhm.
hurt your bank. Caviar, however, is cheap.
4 ounces of
Cheaper.
white truffle is going to be under $100.
Mhm.
Or Oregon white truffles.
Oregon white truffles. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be great on French fries,
Mhm.
maybe with some feta, ricotta.
So that reminds me, you had a little bit of a, let's call it mixed feelings. I was sent some hot sauce by a company that I probably shouldn't name, but they're a black truffle hot sauce, and they're
Got it.
everywhere, and they have a big social media presence. So I mean, anybody that can go and Google it is going to figure out who I'm talking about. But I didn't mind the stuff. I was like, hey, this is pretty tasty. I was putting it on fried eggs, and then I posted about it online. And you, among others, said F black truffle hot sauce.
Because one, I don't think it should be combined that way. I really okay. So here's my reservation about truffles. One, it's so pungent that I hate the smell of it. It just kills my taste buds as soon as that thing just wafts through the air. At the country club that I currently work in, we actually have these in cage boxes inside the office because who has that kind of money? A country club would. But I was just like, this is an actual truffle. I've never actually had to hold like a full. It's like Andy. It's like a 6 ounce little sucker. It's like that big. Must have cost him like I don't know $800 for that little nub. And we did a special 3 weeks ago, not 3 weeks ago, about a month ago. And we were doing tagliatelle with black truffles.
Wow.
Pretty classic pairing, right? And they were just going table side and they were just going whoosh, just like one shaving. And I'm like, that's like $100 right there. What is going on with you guys? But yeah, so it just but as soon as that was at the dining room, they did the shaving and you can smell it from inside the restaurant. So it kills my palate. I don't like it. Chef loves it. So it is what it is. But white truffles, however, I do like a little better. But the oils that we use have the black truffles and white truffle shavings underneath it. Because, white truffles, you're not going to get that flavor out as much as you would a black truffle. So it's kind of misleading. So that's my reservation about the truffles. However, before we full on go into truffles, a couple more questions. One for Andy. Andy, what is your favorite barbecue that you've done last year?
Last year or last night?
Or whenever. The past year. We'll go 2020.
I mean,
your favorite?
Last year we did a lot of different things with barbecue. I mean, the one that sticks out is of course going to be the alligator.
Yes.
We did a whole 45-pound alligator.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was fun. That was interesting. It just barely fit in my trailer smoker. For anybody that doesn't know, I have a competition style trailer smoker. It has a massive firebox, a little bit smaller of a cook chamber, and it runs like a dream. But yeah, no, buddy of mine just sort of had a wild hair that hit him, and he was like, I really want to do a whole smoked alligator. Obviously, I'm not going to do it. Andy, would you take a list? And so he ordered it up, showed up.
You guys got it.
It was incredible. The only things that I regret about the cook is I should have taken the advice of a couple of people that I talked to that are competition barbecuers, and they have done alligators in the past, and they said if you do anything larger than like a 25-pound alligator, you need to split the tail and get an air gap in there. You need to stuff like some sausage in there. I don't know. I guess I just thought that they were saying put the sausage in there so that you get more meat from the cook. But what it actually is you need an air gap. You need that heat circulating around the tail. And so mine did not render as much of the little bit of fat that's there. You know, it really should have rendered a little bit more.
The tail is solid meat, and
It's
so we
the whole animal's solid meat.
Yeah, we
Pretty
stuffed
much.
the cavity with apples,
Mhm.
oranges, and onions
Mhm.
in the body cavity, and
Instead of meat, because trust me, we were going to have plenty
Yeah.
on this thing.
and then we wrapped the whole thing in bacon. But what we should have done is wrapped everything from the base of the tail towards the head in
Mhm.
tin foil, and given the tail a solid extra hour.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's so thick.
So now
Wow.
I want to redo that. You know, a close second's probably going to be my first whole goat leg. We
Mhm.
enjoyed doing that
For Christmas.
for Christmas. I put cuts into it, put big garlic cloves all down into it, very traditional style.
Mhm.
You know, rubbed it down with olive oil, seasoned it up. We smoked it hot. I smoked it at like 325 degrees.
Oh wow.
It was just, it's so good. It's so good. Goat,
Love me some
I'm
goat.
really coming. Yeah, I'm into it. I know you've been into it for a while, but I'm really starting to enjoy it personally. It's just got such a big, rich flavor. You don't, and this is the weird thing for me, you don't need as much of the meat in your dish when it's got
Correct.
that much flavor.
Yeah,
Just a little bit goes a long way.
it's a
Exactly.
big punch of flavor. I mean,
And not gamey. I just
No.
want to point out for folks, not saying it's gamey. It's like beef plus. It's just got so much flavor.
If you like lamb, you'll like goat.
Mhm.
The goat we purchased was under a year, and we had it butchered locally, and it's just been awesome.
Mhm.
The goat it was falling off the bone. We have done
Well, so hang on. What other barbecues did we do last year?
doing the goat, we did a side-by-side chicken and turkey for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, the chicken and turkey, that was good.
Same recipe, same smoker.
No, it wasn't the same smoker. The chicken was done on charcoal. The turkey was done in pellet. And I actually have not used that pellet grill since. It is a Yoder YS640. And any of your guys out there listening who recognize that, they know it's a
Commercial.
$1,800 commercial smoker. And I'm not getting into the pellets.
Then sell it.
I know it's kind of like an easy bake oven. I understand that, but
okay, there's nothing easy bake. I'm sorry. That is not a Traeger. You have to go in and make sure you clean out.
yeah, it's not a Traeger. It's 1/4-inch steel.
Yeah, it's insane. We should just sell it. If you're unhappy,
we should just sell it. Hey, I mean, I don't have a smoker at the house yet. I would like to eventually.
He has 5. You want one?
I'm afraid you're going to have to drive this one home, buddy. It's
I get it. I get it.
He bought 2 when he bought 2. A local meadery was going out of business. COVID was hard, and a buddy calls up and says, "Hey, they want to sell their Yoders for $300 a piece or something."
Oh, that's a steal, actually. Yeah.
And we're like, "Okay."
Yeah, I've already sold one for a G, and I'll probably end up selling this one off here in the next couple of months. Once we get back into the summertime.
Well, I want to remodel the bathroom, so sell it now. Valentine's Day coming up. I mean, great gift.
There you go.
The boss has spoken.
The boss has spoken.
So, Casey, one honorable mention for me. This is not a barbecue cook that stands out, but it's actually a smoker that a buddy of mine brought for me. My buddy Jake, he picked it up at like a
estate sale.
Estate sale or something like that. It's a type of smoker that you can't find here. It's from Academy Sports. We don't have Academy Sports in Oregon. And this person had brought this smoker back from Texas. And it's called an over-under. It's got this super long firebox that runs the full length of the cook chamber.
Got it.
I ended up doing some modifications to it because I was reading people were complaining about how they just never really ran that great. They have a following. There are a lot of people that love them, but they just don't run that great. And I noticed there were some airflow issues. And so I busted out the grinder and busted out the welder and modified some things. And now it is absolutely running like a dream. I can run that thing at 300 degrees with a water pan inside of it all day long. And it just makes the most amazing meat. I'm so impressed by it. So impressed.
Nice.
So, hey, for a $50 smoker, Not a bad way to
You
go.
can't beat it. Yeah. Anything that you can modify to suit your needs, to better whatever tool you're using or whatever cook that you're doing, that's a win-win altogether. So, hey, that's great for you guys, man.
Mhm.
I'm really happy with that.
But your limit is 5.
We'll see.
She's like, you can only have 5. I will kill
have
you.
more smokers than I have goats. Is that reasonable?
You see how dangerous this math is? She's got
Hey,
She's got 3 pregnant goats. She has
That's
5 now.
just like I have 3. Okay, follow-up question. This is for Corianne this time. Corianne, or actually 2-part question. Can you give me your favorite cook of the year? Also, we got a new cat. I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh, hi,
Just
sweet
sat on me.
baby.
That's Luna. And then, well, how are your veggies rotated? So here, because you guys are the first people that I know of that actually grow their own produce in their own land. So I never really got to experience anyone rotating any kind of produce or different seasons and different times.
Oh, okay. I know where you're going. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I perfected my green bean mushroom sauce this year. I don't really like the mushroom casserole or the green bean casserole, so I want to do something different. So, got my green beans cooking on the side and I do everything in cast iron. So green beans are simmering on one side, and make sure you salt your green beans in the beginning, or else you'll never get them salty enough. And then when the green beans are not squeaky, because I have several family members that don't like squeaky green beans.
I think it's because I have sensitive teeth.
Yes, dear.
Maybe.
And then I usually...
Or it could be the autism. I don't know.
You were not. Shush. My favorite mushrooms to cook with are portobellos.
Cool.
So I really like, or creminis are really good up there for me too. So I like to do a portobello cremini, like a nice sliced, not pulverized, not minced, because that'll turn into mush and I don't like the flavor. So just, thin slice your baby portobellos, thin slice your cremini. And then I like to cook them in goat butter because we make it. And a little olive oil, saute that with some shallots and some good garlic until they're soft. And when they're just about like right before you serve, I mix a cup of goat's milk in with a tablespoon of rice flour. So I whip the rice flour into the goat's milk and I just pour it right in to the mushrooms after they are tender. And I add thyme. I've experimented with rosemary, sage, thyme, all separate. Thyme is my family's favorite.
Okay.
And
time after time.
Time after time. Anyway, then just serve it. So the goat's milk is thick and luscious. The rice flour is our thickener. And I've really tried different textures, different chops, different butters, oils, seasonings. And I'm happy about perfecting that. And I just think it turned out great. And then the second question on my crop rotation. So I have November, I planted my garlic. So I did 2 kinds of heritage garlic. One is a Transylvanian garlic and one is an Italian garlic. So you plant those in the fall, early fall for harvest.
Early fall.
So there's a heritage garlic company called Mount Hood Garlic out here in Oregon. And so I ordered 2 different kinds of red garlic. So the peel and the entire whole head of garlic has got red striations, but the garlic itself is not red. And so I planted 40 bulbs this year, 40 cloves of garlic. So
how many of those do you think the chickens have dug up?
Oh shit. Yeah. So I'm anticipating a solid 30 plus heads of garlic that I'm going to harvest this year, but they're heritage, so I can keep regrowing. They're not a hybrid. Cool. And then yesterday I actually started my brassica plantings. So brassica includes all of your kales. So I planted. I really like the dinosaur, the lacinato kale, the black Italian kale, depending on what you call it. So I probably put in a lot. The Siskiyou a lot. Yeah. The Siskiyou Seed Company is a heritage seed company that's south of us. So I bought a whole heritage harvest vegetable blend. So the kale's in there and that will just go, I could keep that kale going all year long, but I rotate my beds that I put it in. And then I also put in my smooth kale. and that's a favorite of the chickens. And lots of radishes. I like to make a lacto-fermented radish salsa. So there's a lot of those cherry bell radishes, and so I put a ridiculous amount of radishes in the garden. It's a really great early winter crop. With less than 40 days, you're going to have your harvest, and then you can just keep replanting. I put my carrots in a different box this year. So I did ox heart carrots, which is a heritage carrot shaped like a heart. And then I also did my little sweet fingers, which is just the normal shaped carrots. But
And
again,
can I just say, I'm really looking forward to making spicy pickled carrots out of these.
escabeche.
Ooh.
So I always do a batch of escabeche every year. I didn't grow enough carrots this year because a neighborhood cat got in and made a litter box out of my carrot bed.
Oh no.
Little fucker. So I worked with a local farmer.
Is this a PG show or?
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. Go for it.
So I did 40 pounds of escabeche carrots this year. And so it's got my oregano, my onions, his garlic, his carrots, and then we did bay leaves. And my goal was the carrots would last through Christmas. I don't know if they'll make it to St. Patrick's Day. So every year I make a bigger and bigger and bigger batch.
I've been very careful with my intake this year. She's given some jars away and I'm like, honey, now I just have to slow down even more.
You fine, have all the carrots you want, baby cakes. I started my peas yesterday as well.
Peas. Ooh.
So I've
Love
got
peas.
sugar snap peas and then just your regular peas that I'll shell. But the pea greens are really great in salads. And then I can just harvest my peas for normal snackage. What else I put in? Oh, golden Swiss chard. That's in.
Ooh.
And I also started my broccoli seeds in the house under a grow light. So,
And of course, Casey, you remember having Corian's Kaboka squash that
Oh
she
my God.
grows.
yeah, my
It was so
squash
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So of course, I mean, the seeds are being saved. Those will be grown
Every
again this year.
I
Mhm.
save my I like saving seeds. And if anybody out there is a gardener, they know about our national seed shortage that we had in this country. You could not get seeds to save your life, especially heritage seeds. So I've been saving seeds from certain crops that I really, really like. But if it's a hybrid crop, you can't save your seeds and have it plant and grow true.
Mhm.
You don't know what you're going to get. So I'm really excited to be planting all heritage varieties this year so I can save my seeds for next year and screw any seed shortage we might have in the future.
And as popular as that saying was for Forrest Gump, you never know what you're going to get.
You're really not.
That's not a great way to go when it comes to planting things. You know,
Mhm.
like if you want to eat your own food, you better know what you're going to get.
So,
Correct.
I rotate my crops. I rotate the boxes that I put them in. So if I grow tomatoes in one, I'm not going to grow tomatoes in the same box the next year, just so that I don't deplete certain nutrients. Or if there was a fungus or there was an aphid or there was some kind of creature that was attacking my produce, then I can put it into a different box where it will be less susceptible to that insect or that blight of some kind. And then I always fill the boxes with like stuff from the goat house, chicken coop, duck house, so that my natural fertilizers are going in, and then we let the chickens and ducks I keep hitting that, digging around
Oh, that's all right.
a lot. But we try to do a complete recycle on the property.
We have a full composting program, I guess you might say.
Yeah,
here.
we do.
Yeah.
And we have different plants that have different stuff that go on them. You
Different
know,
needs. So, for example, I've got a brown turkey fig in the front yard. Well, figs respond really well to a phosphate-rich fertilizer, which helps blossom growth and fruit production. So I always put my chicken manure, chicken bedding, when I clean out the chicken coop, that just goes straight on the fig tree. Not only does that provide weed control, but that phosphate, the high levels of phosphate in the chicken manure is really, really good for that. Now, I would not put that on my blueberries, which need a nitrogen-rich acidic soil. Phosphate will make the soil more basic, and I don't want that for blueberry crop production. So blueberries are going to get my goat bedding and they're going to get my duck bedding, just so that I can control the pH of the soil and also make sure that everything that is incorporated back into my property so that I'm not producing waste.
See, this is why I love talking to you guys, because you guys live off your land. I think you're
Mhm.
one of two people that I know of that do this, but you guys have like a full on farm in your
Mhm.
property that do this. So it's just, this is the goal for everybody else is listening. You want to grow, you want to be able to grow your own produce, your own food for your own consumption, because there's nothing better than food that's grown with your hands. Now, I do want to get into some of the recipes that we go through in our restaurant. However, I do want to share with you guys that for this entire not season, but an entire year, for like past 2 years, I've been making bread, quite a bit of it.
Nice.
Um, Only because one, I've never done it. Two, I didn't want to buy any more bread. Like I don't want to buy white bread anymore. I don't want to buy. I just didn't want to. I wanted to make it myself. See where that journey kind of took me, and I feel the same kind of gratis that you guys are feeling right now with your own produce. And I highly suggest doing something like this in your own time too, whether it be bread or whatever. If you can grow your own herbs at your own house, all the better, because it just anything to help out with yourself, by yourself rather, will be better for everybody else. However, now we're talking about carrots and stuff. I have this one dish that I did a couple weeks ago. So we did a root veggie kind of with white truffle. But when I say white truffle, that's a fake white truffle, so it's just the oil.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
However, the processes and everything else is amplified. So we do the little the tricolored carrots.
Love it.
We call it the root veggie special with a demi-glace made from duck and white truffle oil and a little bit of shaving too on top of it. How do you guys feel about this? So simple, like a quick app, literally like 6 ounces of it. It almost feels like meaty. The way if you just braise the carrots and roast it before serving it, it becomes this delicious little nugget per se. You just kind of pick up and chomp at it.
Is it
Um,
carrots or are there any other root vegetables?
just carrots, like
Oh.
3 different types of carrots:
Purple, white, and orange.
purple, white, and orange. Mhm.
Nice. I think that's
Mm.
luscious.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing a lot of experimenting with parsnips.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we did parsnip fries with the white truffle oil and maybe
Ooh.
sprinkling of manchego.
Yeah. I was 100% like as you guys were talking about this, I was thinking, I wonder if I could do this with parsnips. Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely do it with parsnips. The parsnips we only save for purees,
Oh,
only because it's already used in 3 other dishes that we already do. So we
okay.
serve it as a puree for our duck. Actually, our
Yeah.
duck branzino, we call it. I'll go over that in a little bit too. In my other restaurant, we have another dish, cold smoked oysters, actually, with a lemon oil and a little bit of the fake truffle.
Oh,
I think
aphrodisiac.
you guys should try this. Yeah, I
That's
think
a
you guys
good
should try this.
idea. We can get definitely some fresh oysters out here
Uh-huh.
from the coast.
Oh yeah, we've got a little town called Oysterville. We'll head over there next weekend, huh?
Is that what we're doing next weekend?
Maybe so.
Is that what we're doing next week? Because you guys, I love. Okay, let me two-part this. Oysters, I don't mind eating, but it has to be West Coast oysters. I don't like the East Coast stuff. It's
Mhm.
so briny and it's a big punch into it. It just feels like my nose is about to explode whenever I do partake in East Coast oysters. However, Cushies, Kumamoto's, all freaking day, all
Mhm.
freaking day. It is so good, and it goes well with the oil because it already finishes like a cucumber when you eat it.
Mhm.
And you cold smoke it, you impart a little bit of smoke, and it becomes this little. You're like, "Ooh, excuse me, where are we eating right now?" So that's
Dude,
my little.
smoked oysters are the best.
So we made smoked oysters last year. No,
Oh.
sorry, not last year. Year before, because obviously the World Food Championships was canceled this past year.
Mhm.
But the year prior, we worked with well, as a matter of fact, Cory Ann cooked with the 2017 Seafood World Champion.
Nice.
And I'm trying to remember
We didn't do
what
smoked oysters. We did grilled oysters.
it was. Grilled oysters.
Mhm.
Mm.
But that recipe is just hurting for some white truffle flavor, I think.
Just
I
a
do-
smidge. When I say a smidge, literally just a drop of it.
Mhm.
Like I said, for my palate, one drop is super plenty for
Mhm.
my end, but for you guys, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know how you guys like the white truffle oils, but get a good version of that oil. Don't get like the cheapo stuff
Mhm.
that we get. You know, the generic stuff like I think it's like a $15 bottle that everybody else has in their restaurant. That's what we're currently serving. I'm bashing my own restaurant right now, but I don't care. That's what we're serving. And now,
People don't realize that even with oil, freshness is a thing. Like it needs to
correct.
be a thing, you know.
Dude, I'm gonna just throw it out there. A white truffle fry is great.
It is great.
I've never been a fan of white truffle fries. Maybe I'm just
Really?
getting the wrong ones,
Oh man.
but I've never really been into white truffle with
French
French
fries?
fries.
Oh
Do
wow.
you guys have some potatoes right now in hand in stock?
We do not have any in stock. That's something we could solve quickly though.
Mhm.
Try this. We serve a pommes frites
Mm-hmm.
version with a white truffle. So get whatever potato, russets. It'd be more ideal if you can get it. Let it soak in the water just a little bit.
Mhm.
You don't want too much of the starch out. This is like a little Asian quirkiness about. You're gonna roast this into the oven for about 15 minutes at 200. Get that all crisped up, and then you're gonna deep fry it, obviously. However, before you do deep fry it, you're gonna coat it in potato starch. Little secret for you: potato starch. Again, you're using a potato. You're gonna use a potato with it. Deep fry that for 2 minutes, and then top it with whatever cheese. Primarily, Asiago is what we use at the restaurant, and then hit it with truffle oil and thyme. And I guarantee you, it's gonna turn some heads because you're like, what is this crunch?
Yeah.
Pommes frites, little strings of goodness, and it's quite delicious. It's a big seller at our
Yeah.
restaurant, and I hate making it because you just got to go through so many potatoes. Because we gotta cut it, we gotta blanch it, we gotta do all this prep for just potatoes for $4.50. But people go nuts for it. So I
Yeah,
think
the pommes frites. He's right on it. I guess you haven't been there at Frankie's when we've done the truffle pommes frites, have you? That's
No.
just been a girls' night with me and my ladies.
wow, she's keeping it from me. See what happened?
Sorry, sweetheart.
It's fine. I'm not even that into it.
Well-
I mean, listen, I'll try the pommes frites. We have to make it here at the house. I have not had store-bought white truffle fries that I enjoyed.
Restaurant bought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We'll make it. I'll change your mind.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Try it out. I believe you guys will definitely like it.
I'll try it.
I got. Oh yeah, definitely. So I got 4 more recipes for you guys. Let's go with a classic, a tagliatelle with a white truffle cream with
Mhm.
ricotta. Now
That's
like I said,
yeah.
we already used the parsnips as a puree for this. So this is the other dish that we have at the restaurant. I hate making tagliatelle because one, again, we do everything at the country house by our hands. Just to make pasta with just 3 people on the staff is a feat to behold when we're selling like 20 or 30 of these every week. So it's an intense little dish.
Labor.
It's labor. Have you ever guys had the classic pairing of the white truffles and tagliatelle?
I have, yeah. I've had it.
I've
Oh,
not.
man. Andy, I need to cook you some food, my guy.
I'll make it for you. Tagliatelle, cream sauce, white truffles. Very, very classic.
Okay. All right. I'm into it.
But again, there's a really classic Italian restaurant, like Northern Italian food, that they serve that, and I take Debbie there on her birthday every year.
Mhm.
So that's probably why I've had it. You could even do that with like a mushroom truffle ravioli with a cream sauce would probably be just fine.
Mm.
Correct. That's another version. We have another one. We have a risotto chanterelle preparation with white truffles. This one just pure shaved right on top. Just
Nice.
right on it, nothing too fancy, but just the hit. As soon as the raw truffle hits, the little bit of heat that's emanating from the dish, it becomes just a flower. It's so fragrant, but it can't be too much because again, it's like $300 for the Italian stuff. I keep telling Shells like, yo, we can just get the Oregon stuff a lot cheaper, and you can probably do like three shavings instead of the one. I don't know. It's whatever they want to use Italian stuff. Okay, cool. But I'd rather use what we got here.
You know, Casey, I'm going to talk this week. I'm going to talk to our contact at Oregon White Truffle Company and ask them what exactly the difference is between Oregon and Italian. Yeah,
It's probably just variety.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure there's a little bit of a flavor difference, but we're going to talk about that. We're
Maybe
going to
they
get into it.
use dogs to find in one and hogs to find in
Maybe,
another.
yeah, it's usually hogs they use in Italy to
Mhm.
Listen,
find it.
knowing Oregon, we've got like homeless people and possums tracking these things
Oh
down.
my gosh,
So
Andrew. So next recipe.
Next recipe, another classic. Let's just say beef short ribs with
Mhm.
truffle polenta.
Yes.
Ooh, let's talk
Alright.
about this because this is such a classic dish for a lot of cuisines. Did you guys know in the Philippines, quite a bit of ossobuco happening as our main, like a good section in the Philippines, just cook oxes.
Mhm.
And ossobuco is one of the dishes that actually comes from that. But the truffle polenta kind of thing, I don't know. How do you guys feel about this?
I
Because
love
for me, it's too, I don't want to say creamy.
question. Oh,
Answer.
maybe you just answered it. I was just say, do you make your polenta the night before and then slice it and then crisp up or fry your polenta slices, or is it a creamy polenta?
So I share you my recipe that we do at our restaurant. So we make it just a regular base, as if you were to make any polenta. Go into blast chiller, and then we actually bread and fry it
Yeah.
to serve, but in discs.
Yeah.
And it has to be pan fried. It can't be deep fried.
Yeah.
Because I want that sear on it. At least when chef is not looking, that's what we do. We're supposed to deep fry it. Like that's how he likes it. But I'm like, it's just so much better as a good old sear on it. But I think he's warming up to the idea. I'm trying to change his menu. That's what it is.
Now, I have had a white truffle cremini polenta that was creamy.
really,
Ooh.
It wasn't like he said where you make it and then you put it in the blast chiller and slice it. It was a creamy, almost grits consistency.
Almost grits.
okay.
Mm.
I know that I understand this. This seems like it has no correlation, but I'm into the creamy polenta, and I'm going to tell you why. Anything that's like a chowder or like a bisque, I'm into. I don't really like soups that much, if I'm being totally honest.
He does not like
Gotcha.
clear soups.
I don't. I
So
don't.
is it texture that you're looking for then? Is it
Hearty
it's like when you're
waffle.
like when you're eating like a cream soup, it will cover your palate in like a second. The lighter consomme stuff or anything like broth will take quite a bit because your nose will have to pick up on it first before your tongue will get into it. So maybe that's where
Yeah.
It could be. Also, I like instant gratification, and I don't want to wait around to figure out what the flavors are in this water that I'm drinking. Like this is not. That's one of the things about soups, especially if I'm going to a restaurant and getting soup. More often than not, it just doesn't have enough flavor for me, and I'm just
got it.
I'm not into it. If you go with something that has a heavier base, a cream base,
Chowders and chilies is where you're at.
yeah, chowders and chilies. It's more filling, like you said. It coats the palate. I feel satiated much more quickly. If
Correct.
someone brings me a bowl of soup, don't bother bringing a fucking spoon. Okay, I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to pick it up. If you can bring me a mug instead of a cup of soup with a handle on it, all the better. All the better.
So you just check it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Corian's looking at you like, really?
Call me unrefined. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Everybody has their own preference.
You're feral.
Final dish for you guys. Have you guys ever had a truffle panna cotta?
Yes.
Yo.
It will change your life. It will change your life. A truffle panna cotta served with braised lamb, actually.
Yeah.
Bro, what?
Yeah. I had panna cotta in Italy. I didn't have it with braised lamb
That sounds so. We could do panna cotta with braised goat, though.
on it.
Yeah, you could do it
Red
with
wine
both.
braised. Cannot serve it though.
All right, so we do have we've cooked one of them, but we have 3 more in the freezer.
What?
A rack of goat with Frenched tips, by the way.
Ooh,
I would
French
love
tips.
to do a crown roast.
Yeah, these are a little too short to do crown roast. If we left them whole, then we could do a crown roast. But these ones are only, I think they're 6 or 8 bone.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Not
They're not they're not small, but they're not huge. It's a meat.
I would definitely do that with like a rosemary on it, and then we could do a sauce with truffle.
We've done one so far. I smoked it up to, I think, 140 degrees internal. Hot smoke, again, 325 degrees. We ran it pretty hot, pretty fast. Pecan and hickory,
Wood.
Uh,
maybe even a little bit of alder, just so that we get a little hotter, more mild flavor in there. That absolutely crushed.
Your mother loved it.
My mom hates goat, Casey. She's not into it. She had
A goat
when
chased her as a child through her house.
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
Annie's mom was raised in the Arkansas mountains, quintessential like hillbilly, out in the mountains. I don't think her parents had social security numbers. Her dad didn't.
Her mom did. Her mom did not.
Her dad didn't have social security. Yeah. So they were raised up in the Arkansas woods, and they raised their own food. They hunted, gathered, fished, whatever, and they had goats and chickens and all that. Well, there was a billy goat that was ornery and chased her through the house during a ladies gathering that grandma had, and so she hates goats.
Yeah, she's not a
She's
fan.
scarred for life.
Not a fan.
She
You
says
change her mind.
yeah, she could always taste goat stuff no matter what, but I've served her so many recipes with goat in it, and she scarfs it up. So I just think that's an emotional issue, not a palate problem.
Got it. That's
But
how I feel about okra. It's yeah, I believe I told you guys this story one time. My grandmother served me a bowl of okra soup.
on
The
purpose?
woman made I don't know, maybe it's on purpose. I have no idea. Maybe I did something wrong. I have no clue. This was when I was still in the Philippines. I was younger. And it just felt like I was being punished, and I ingested a bowl of boogers. That's how it felt. I didn't like it. That's what it is. Ever since then, I am averse to okra. I don't mind gumbo. Like I'll eat gumbo. Like I know the texture is there, but most of the time I separate from okra.
Question.
Answer.
How many ways have you had okra?
I've had it 4 ways. I had it braised, fried, steamed, and into a stew. Actually, like my grandmother did. I like the fried. I like the braised actually because it did something to the skin. I don't know. I think the protein it seized super hard, and I was like, oh, that's different. I didn't mind that as much. The stew, however, it just can't be too much because now I feel like
boogers.
Like it feels like bad oysters. Like I'm just eating it.
So,
it's so slimy. It's so slimy. The 3 ways that I like okra is fried, freeze dried, and pickled. Yeah. Spicy pickled okra, I can get behind. I'm not going to go out of my way to get it, but if Corianne buys herself a jar of like spicy pickled okra, or if one of her friends had made some spicy pickled okra, fuck yeah, give me a little bit. I'm down.
I love pickled okra, hands down. It's crispy, crunchy, has a punch, has pop. It's great. Plain or spicy. Serrano's makes a really great spiced pickled okra.
And this is probably weird coming from someone as, pasty white as I am, but just about anything that you can make spicy, I dig. Like I'm into.
Yeah, I would challenge you. Get some pickled okra, especially if it's from Texas. You'll
definitely try it.
I think it would be great on the charcuterie board.
Because you like the heat, right, Chef?
I do. I actually have you ever seen the YouTube channel Hot Ones?
Yes.
The Hot Wings. I actually bought a season of the whole spice rack container that they had. We haven't busted it out just yet, but I'm so ready for it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my wife and I. We're gonna try it out as we eat wings.
Nice.
And I can't wait to get the 2 million Scoville one, and we're both gonna just bleed from our nostrils. It's gonna be great.
I recently did the Toe of Satan challenge, which is a 9 million Scoville. I was doing it for another friend of mine's channel, and so he was like, you pussy, you didn't do it for the whole 5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, no, I didn't. Why would I do that? I already had ruined my face for you. Why would I ruin my guts too?
3 minutes?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I did like 3 minutes of the 5 minute challenge.
What did it taste like?
It didn't taste good. So it's a spicy cinnamon. And while I'm okay with cinnamon, I guess, Like I don't eat hot cinnamon candy. I don't really like the flavor of it. It's not the heat, it's the flavor. I'm not really into it. Cinnamon's fine, I like pumpkin spice, right? But I don't, the hot cinnamon candies I've never ever been into. And so I stick this thing in my mouth and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's hot cinnamon, great.
Ooh.
It tastes like, I was hoping that why can't, listen, if you're gonna make something spicy like this, why can't it be like spicy mango? I like chili mango.
Ooh. Or like bacon. I can get behind that.
Yes, why does it have to be spicy cinnamon? It tastes like burnt apple. I'm just like, ugh.
Oh my gosh, you sound like a pissed off hooker with a bad condom flavor.
Well, you know what? It said ribbed on the package. It doesn't even taste like ribs. So
Oh my goodness. I got you.
When you first told me you're going to do the toe of Satan and it was a potato chip or corn chip that was really, really hot.
No, it was a sucker.
Oh, it was a sucker.
Yeah. No, I didn't do the spicy chip. The spicy chip's only, what is that one? 1 mil, 2 mil?
That was 1 mil. Yeah, I've had that one.
Yeah.
It hurts. That one's just it's pure pain.
Yeah.
No flavor. So the toe of Satan is a sucker.
Mm-hmm.
Why is a toe a sucker? I'm just curious about that.
This is a rabbit hole that we don't need to go down.
That's okay. You know what?
Is there like a foot fetish in this company, or what are we doing?
It was actually an inside joke on an internet meme, but it's
sucking on the toe of Satan is a hot, spicy cinnamon sucker.
There's these two guys
I have
that
so many questions.
I never watch because I don't like their channel. Okay. They're Rhett and Link.
Rhett and Link. Yeah, Rhett and Link.
Yeah, they're the one
people.
Yeah, they're the one with Satan. So it's an internet thing. I don't know.
All right, you need to do more later.
Okay.
But it was a hot cinnamon sucker. Okay, I didn't quite realize what it is you were putting in your mouth and chewing on, rolling around.
9 million Scoville, though.
That's too much.
He was sick when he got home.
Yeah, no, it would mess up your stomach lining too if there's too much of it. That's why you got to be careful when you do it. However, I know I've already kept you guys for almost an hour. I do want to close up just a little bit. Okay, as we kind of going into our close here. What are you guys looking for this year specifically?
That's a good question.
I know. It's a big.
Like, okay, looking forward to in the garden with the goats, something.
Well, just any of it. So I'm looking forward to wild boar. That buddy of mine that bought the alligator, he's interested in getting a wild boar and shipping it over. We do have some wild boar problems in Southern Oregon. I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to get a hold of one of those, though. So I don't know how we're going to logistically work all of that out. But that is one thing that I'm looking forward to is he wants to do that. He wants to do a whole wild hog.
Whole boar. Got it.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have 3 babies or 3 mamas give birth on somewhere around tax day. So I'm excited for starting probably by the end of March or first part of May milking. I'll be milking 3 goats a day, twice a day.
Crazy.
And we're going to get a gallon of milk. I want to make butter. I want to make cultured sour cream. There's so many recipes. Ice cream.
Yeah.
Man, have you ever had goat's milk ice cream, dude?
It's the most luscious.
I have not.
So there's a brand called Lalou, and they make a phenomenal goat's milk ice cream. Just start with their plain vanilla. It's delish. We planted 20, 30 elderberries around the property. So I want to make a nice elderberry ice cream.
Oh, I got one for you. Cory planted a whole bunch of, what's that rose called?
The Rugosa rose.
Rugosa roses.
It's a wild rose.
And they make these gigantic fat rose hips, the fruit rose hips. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do with those. We're talking about a rose hip liqueur. We're talking about rose hip jelly. I might even try to do like a rose hip pilsner. I'm looking forward to it.
No, I don't want to do anything rude wise with the hips. Those will be a jams or a jelly.
Yeah, we'll see.
But the blossoms, I want to make a liqueur from the flowers because the whole thing is edible. I practice edible landscaping, so there's going to be an edible or medicinal purpose for what I'm going to put in the ground and spend my time, energy, and money on. Oh,
and this will be the second year for our gigantic blueberry bushes. So we're going to get a bunch of those.
Yeah,
this is going to be a really good year for berries on our property. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
That'll be good.
And of course, if we're not completely shut down and the World Food Championships come around, our golden ticket has rolled over So we will look forward to being back in Dallas, Texas, competing in that once again.
Our golden tickets rolled over.
Well, our chef's golden tickets.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I've had, like I mentioned this to Caitlin, because we've had barbecue pretty much all over the United States. I don't consider the northern part any kind of type of barbecue because it's not really known for it. However, I believe, and I can speak for her too, Texas, Austin, Texas, some of the best barbecue we've ever had because I love links so much. I have this obsession with sausage. I really enjoy anything pork product. My wife can tell you. I mean, I even named my channel with pork in it because I'm such a fan of it. But their spicy pork links from Austin, Texas is something to marvel at, and I want to make it. I would like to have the same version as a Taylor ham here in New Jersey. That version, and I think it will just take off. I think. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But the thing I'm looking forward to, at least on my end for 2021, more pastry. I'm trying to get my skills honed in that aspect. I've been doing savory for 15 years now. This will be I want to focus more in the patisserie side of it. So much so, I've actually been doing our desserts at the restaurant. I was like, Chef, what kind of desserts are we doing this week? And he's like, we'll do like a tart or a financier or a cheesecake. I was like, would you care if I did it in house? Whatever it is, it's slow season right now for the country club. So I don't know. We do maybe 100, 150 covers a week. That's not bad. I was like, it's only 150 people. Do you mind if I made the desserts for those 150 people? And he's like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's make it in house. So with the three of us working all together, I'm taking a role of patisserie. So it's a good year. It's gonna be intense, at least for me. I haven't done any of that skill set in so long. So a challenge nonetheless. It's almost like working with your left hand because I'm primarily a right-handed person, but I'm also pretty ambi, so I can use my left to do most. I think I've told you guys this. Like if my right hand gets tired, I'll switch to my left predominantly for the whole day, just because I can. Because it at the end of the day, this hurts. This motion, like all the pain here, and I don't like that. So I switch hands quite often. But like I said, as we close, I just want to thank Andy and Cory for stopping by at the channel for giving me the first interview. Let's say 2021, and a lot of looking in. And I do want to say, so last week was one of my favorite episodes that you guys ever done ever. I tune into your show when I can. I only say that because tea. Let's talk about tea really briefly as we close. I ordered 15 teas from Angela last week. I kid you not.
Are amazing.
I ordered the entire Chinese blends, the Indonesian blends, and I think she had a couple of Sri Lankans one in there too. I clicked on all of it. I was like, everything's coming to me. All in 1 ounce bags. And the cool thing, I don't know if you guys, because I know I saw you guys had the little jars from Angela. Her little packets also give you little information on how to brew it. I was like, wow, this is she's done all the work for you. You don't have to research any of this. Since I primarily ordered black teas, everything is at 212 anyway, Fahrenheit, and for steep for 3 to 5 minutes. But my cupboard is now full of teas, and that's a nice little experience I'll be having pretty soon. But it was one of my favorite episodes.
Did you order the Crater Lake Blue?
I did. I got the big jug.
Did you try it yet?
Not yet,
dude. It's gonna freaking mind. The color.
Yeah. Make sure that you have something clear that you put the tea in. If you want to do, if you want to do the lemon juice experiment, and it doesn't take much, by the way, a drop or two.
Yeah.
And it completely changes the color of this. It's phenomenal.
The flavor. It comes out that beautiful cerulean blue.
Mhm.
And then when you add the lemon juice, it's amethyst purple.
Hmm.
Wow.
It's amazing. It tastes great on its own.
Mhm.
And then, decide if you like the lemon in it. But it was a really, really fun, amazing tea to try.
I actually flavor wise preferred it without the lemon,
did
but
too.
it was super fun watching it change from blue
Change
to
the color.
white in my eyes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm completely excited. Like I said, I have a tea cupboard in my house. I just for teas.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is about teas that I like so much, but I have 3 or 4 cups a day
Good.
of tea just by myself. I got Caitlin to kind of switch from coffee to tea now, which is nice. She still has coffee every now and then, but teas are the predominant in our intake. But again, I just want to thank Andy and Corianne for stopping by here at the channel. If you guys don't mind, can you guys just plug in your show in any way that they can contact you and all that goodness?
Absolutely. So, Pardon My Fork is the show. They can find it anywhere where they can find any of their fine podcasts, like the one we're doing right now. At Pardon My Fork on Facebook, Instagram, the Twitter. I don't really use the Twitter all that much, but we do go out live on Facebook Live every single week, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. They just go to facebook.com/Pardon My Fork. That is where they'll find all of our past videos. And again, we go out Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Play, Podcatcher, Deezer, anywhere that you get your podcast. That's where you'll find the Pardon My Fork episodes. We keep those very updated. So for all of your audio files out there, go out and find us. And we sure appreciate you having us on, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, thank you. This is it's a great experience all together. It's isn't it fun doing the video thing? Because I haven't
Mhm.
seen you guys in like a couple years. Technically a year. And so, so my co-host and I do this all the time because when he lives in Brooklyn, I'm in Jersey. I can't really see him. He's my sous chef, and we just kind of shoot the shit as we say it in our restaurant. But thank you again so much for tuning in. I'll make sure that I have Andy and Corianne's information all below so you guys can check this out. But other than that, thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye.